Hey, what's up guys? Earned a Worm here again with another action figure review, and today I'm having a look at the Figma Max Factory Iron Man 3 Mark 42 armor. I got this as a substitute for the SH Figuarts Iron Man Mark 42 because I could not find him at a reasonable price, so I finally picked this up. Spoiler alert though, I have had this out of packaging and I wasn't thrilled with it. It will make a fine stand-in. Luckily I did find a good deal on this through HobbyLink Japan. They had a Figma sale going on. I picked him up through that. But here's a picture of the figure on the side. Some pictures of the figure posed up on the back. Another close-up of the figure on this side and the front again, so I will get him and his accessories out of packaging so we can have a closer look at this Iron Man. Okay, the Iron Man is out of packaging, and for accessories, first of all you get this Figma stand. It was in a couple different pieces in a bag in there. But you just plug this in his back, and you also get this little extension, I guess for a little more height on flight poses or something. And here's his hands. I'm not going to go through them all individually, but you have some gripping hands, some open palm hands, and then his blast effect hands with the pegs on them. And you get the fancy little hand holder. They threw in one extra wrist peg, so if you're going to break wrist pegs, only break one. You get these blast effects, pretty standard blast effects, and you get some larger ones, same shape and paint. And you get this fancy little Figma Ziploc bag. If you don't want to put your accessories in it, could always take half a sandwich to work in it. Okay, now on to the figure itself. The one thing I really like about this figure is I like the type of gold paint they used. Probably doesn't match the one from the movie, but I like that it's kind of a champagne silver instead of just a straight gold. And as far as things I like, that's about it. It does have decent sculpt here and there, but this will probably be the only Iron Man Figma figure I ever buy. It has very wobbly legs. Got a ball joint in there that just isn't tight at all. He just falls forward and back, and that's going to be a problem. I'm just going to get him to stand, put him in the shelf with the rest of the armors, probably further toward the back, because I have just a lot of major issues with this. Like these shoulder pads, they're nice and all, but they're connected with like rubber bands in there. Such a cop-out on that. They should have just connected them to the upper shoulder. His crotch piece is a floating piece, and it kind of bangs around all over the place. I don't really like that. I do like his arc reactor. They kind of added some nice details in there. Articulation on him. His head will look up that much. Pretty good for flight poses. It does leave a gap on the neck though, but you can get good movement out of the head and neck. The shoulders I'm afraid to do too much with because I really don't want to break that rubber band the shoulder pad's on. But it will go up and around. There's a swivel at the bicep. Decent bend at the elbow, but I really don't like the way that pad looks. And I don't like the way the elbow looks when it's extended. Wrists are pegged in and on a disc. You got the very floppy waist joint. You have another one at the diaphragm. Get some movement there. Legs will kick forward that far. They'll kick back really far because the floating piece don't catch on his butt. Got that upper thigh swivel. Good bend at the knee, but you have to close that to close off the gap. But it does rotate at those joints as well. Then his feet, that's very ugly. There's a really big gap there. But there is pretty good pivot. They'll go forward and back, and there is toe articulation. Really good toe articulation, but that's what leaves that gap. So I could have done with a little less toe articulation to leave a little less gap. Here's the Figma Mark 42 next to the SH Figuarts Mark 43. And in the movies, these armors were the same. It was just a repaint. Same with the figures through SH Figuarts. If I would have got the Mark 42 and 43 through SH Figuarts, same sculpt and everything, just a different paint job. But you can see this Figma one stands at about the same height that it does fit in height-wise with the SH Figuarts. Quality-wise, not so much. Articulation, decent, but kind of clunky. If you can pick it up dirt cheap, get it for a stand-in for the Mark 42. Other than that, I just can't recommend it. It's kind of turned me off to getting any other Figma Iron Man armor. I should have just got the SH Figuarts Mark 42. SH Figuarts has the Iron Man market nailed down for me. They just nail it every time. Can't go wrong with an SH Figuarts Iron Man armor. Okay, I was going to set him up with a nice flat pose for the end of this video, but this does not fit in this. It just is not going. This is much larger than the hole on his back. More points deducted. So there is the Figma Mark 42 Iron Man armor with a couple blast effects on. But that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye for now. Gosh, Ern, I may be metal, but I have feelings too. I'm sorry, just being honest, man.